School's starting up for many of you. So many of you guys are going into your senior year, which means a really fun last year of high school mixed with the most stressful periods of your last 18 years living on this planet. My goal today is to help you guys prepare for that and how to approach it the best way possible. Welcome to Applying to College. My name is Arib Shah. I am attending Vanderbilt University in the fall. I had a really unique college application cycle filled with deferrals, rejections, waitlists, getting off waitlist. I got a C in a class and I'm still going to a top 20 school. A lot of things happened during my 4 years of high school, and I want to share it with you guys. I want to help you guys out because I didn't really have much help. I don't have any older siblings that are in college here, and my parents didn't go to university here in the US. So that's all this series is going to be, and I hope I can help you guys in any sort of way. Today though, we're going to be talking about how to prepare for senior year, as senior year is coming up for many of you. The first thing I want to do is I want to run down what you should already have done. Yes, there are a few things you should have done in the summer. First things first, you should have your Common App open. And there are a lot of things on this list where you don't have to have done right now because I'm just trying to give you a jump start. This is the only thing though, if you don't have open, I would be a tiny bit worried, and you really need to get rolling on this whole thing. And within the Common App, you should probably already have like 2 to 3 activities already listed, or at least in your head, like 2 to 3 main highlights of your application you really want to talk about. Now that your Common App is open, you should have 1 recommendations in the work at least. At the end of junior year or during the summer, you should have emailed one of your close teachers and asked them for a recommendation, and hopefully they already said yes. If you don't have that already, I would suggest getting on that right now. It is important you give your teachers a lot of time so they can write yours first, they aren't exhausted by the end of it, and they can really add their input about who you are. These recommendations are very important. Another thing you should have before walking into senior year is at least 2 to 3 colleges you'd really like to apply to. Now, a lot of people think about this differently. Some people say you should have your entire list filled out before walking into senior year, and some people are like, it's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, you do have like 3 to 4 months left, which isn't a lot if you think about it, especially if you're applying early decision, early action, restricted early action. So you should at least have 2 to 3 colleges you for sure are applying to, and you can start building off, other colleges from there. The last thing you should have done, if you haven't already, is looked at the Common App prompts for you this year. And if you've started writing, that's amazing. But if you haven't, or if you are still struggling, let me give you a really quick tip that I use for my whole application process. Basically, what creative writing taught me was to free write, and what this was is every single morning we walked into class and we wrote about Lord knows what. Some of these are about prompts the teacher gave us, like about Mrs. Frizzle and the Magic School Bus, or about my dreams, thoughts, any random things I wrote about in this book. At least half of it is just filled out with just stuff. And what this really helps you do is develop your voice, which is important. I mean, this Common App essay is how these admissions officers will hear you. They don't get to interview 30,000 kids. Instead, they get to see what you wrote. And this writing should be from the heart, and it should be who you are and how you sound like in real life. Okay, now that we've gone over what you should already have done, I'm gonna give you like 6 pieces of advices. Okay, now that we've gotten everything you should have had done, I'm gonna give you 6 things to think about as you walk into high school for your last year. The first thing, and it's super important, listen to me on this, don't slack off. I know it's like a huge thing to have senioritis and stop caring about classes, but do not slack off. Your first semester grades are scrutinized. These colleges, whether you apply early decision or regular decision, will look at these grades, because it still shows how much you are willing to work, and it's still a part of your high school, so don't just give up on it. It's important you still stay on top of things. And even your second semester, after dealing with all the BS of November and December of just applications, you just want to stop caring and you want to let your grades slip up. But let me tell you, it's not worth it. You have no idea what's going to happen. What if you get waitlisted out of school and they ask for your second semester grades? Things change. You should stay on top of it. Please don't make that mistake. Second piece of advice, keep good relationships with your teachers, even in a senior year. I know it sounds weird, but let me tell you, personally, if I hadn't done so, I would have been in big trouble. You have no idea what's going to happen, again, just like with the not slacking off thing. What if you get deferred? What if you get waitlisted and they ask for extra recommendation letters? I was in both of those situations, and I got both of those things done. Thankfully, I kept good relationships with 2 of my teachers, and I did get extra recommendations and sent them on to these colleges personally, which really did help. I mean, I eventually did get off the wait list at this school, so just keep good relationships with them. You have no idea what's going to happen. Third piece of advice, get in contact with your admissions officers. As I was saying before, you should have like 2 to 3 colleges in mind, and these 2 to 3 should be your top choices. And I would suggest right away finding their emails online because they're out there and getting into contact with them. Maybe starting with a question or a concern about the school and getting a conversation going. And as stupid as it sounds, you're trying to like kiss up to them maybe. Imagine them going through 30,000 applications and your name pops up and they remember that one conversation they had with you or that sweater you were wearing at the college visit. It's important to get to know them because it adds any bit of anything to your application, and in this whole competitive scene, it's important that you have every single advantage possible. Fourth piece of advice, try to get your main Common App essay or at least a couple rough drafts done by the middle of September so you can get ready for peer edits. There's 2 reasons for this. One, just don't procrastinate. Your essay will be way better if you don't wait till the last minute. Second of all, you need to watch out for supplemental essays. This is my 5th piece of advice. Supplemental essays are like really random and sometimes don't even know they're there until the last minute. A quick story, when I was applying to Vanderbilt, I wanted to apply for a scholarship and I realized you had to apply for the regular school before applying for the scholarship, and the deadline for the scholarship was that day. I ran home, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna apply, my Common App is done. Guess what? There was a supplemental. I wrote that supplemental so fast, like 45 minutes, and it was not very good. I mean, it's not good work if you do it like this. Thankfully, it worked out, but again, it put me under a lot of stress, and it definitely could have went the other way. I suggest you look out for these supplementals ASAP, at least especially for those top schools. Make them the best they can be. My 6th piece of advice is get the FAFSA done early. How the FAFSA works is that they have money allocated to give to students, and it's basically first come, first serve, right? They're going to give as much money as possible as they can. They don't run out, but you could get more money doing it earlier than later, so I would suggest getting on that right away. Also, a piece of advice, especially for applying to colleges, don't hesitate to apply because of money, because you might be surprised. A lot of these private universities are actually very, very generous. It could go your way. If money is an issue, just don't apply early decision. I will talk about that in another video, but just apply where you want. My last piece of advice, I know I said there were 6, but this is like, it's not really like anything to be like consciously thinking about, but enjoy your senior year. You know, I'm leaving to college in about 2.5 weeks, and it's only recently hit me that there was a point that I hung out with my friends in school for the last time, and there will be a point where I hang out with my family for the last time. And don't get so into the whole college process where it stresses you out and makes you feel bad. It's definitely what happened to me and a lot of other people, and it totally ruins the vibe. This should be your last year with some of your closest friends you've had for the past like 17, 18 years, past 4 years, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy it, play it right. Hopefully the advice I gave today helped out in any way. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you again. So please comment down below like what you want me to talk about, and please subscribe. I'm going to be making more applying to college videos soon, and in fact I might be starting a college vlog. But yeah, senior year. I'll catch you guys in the next video.